Hey everyone, it's Emily Williams. I'm back with another incredible iHeart Coaching graduate. So we have Amy Hartmann here today with us. So I'm just so excited to talk to you, Amy, and dive in. We haven't spoken for a while since the program. So when my team was emailing people to get updates, yours was one of those that really captured our attention. And I'm just so excited to hear more. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your story and your journey to iHeart Coaching? Because I know you had another business and career that was really important to you, and you kind of fell into coaching by accident. So tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, I always say that I kind of just accidentally did that. So my husband and I started a real estate brokerage several years ago, and we just started working with agents, and I saw kind of a need. And before we started this business, I had been a classroom teacher. We had run another consulting business, and we just kind of felt the need to have a sort of a physical location and stop with some of the travel at the time. My husband had been traveling, and if you read any about my story, I had been dealing with a lot of anxiety and panic, and he was held hostage at gunpoint one time in one of his travels. And so suddenly we found ourselves, we have all these skills for training business people, but and being teachers, but we really needed a physical location. So we opened a real estate brokerage because everybody who walks through our door is a small business owner. I mean, every realtor is running their own business. So what a great opportunity for us. And as we started doing it, I started realizing that there was a need for more support, that the training that realtors get isn't always going to bring them that business and the life that they really dreamed of. And so, and so I just started just sort of coaching our agents and training them, and I realized how much I loved it. And so then I thought, well, there's agents all over the country that need this kind of support and don't have it. So I thought, I really want to do this. I really want to put that out there, but I had no idea what in the world I was going to do or how to do that or how to go online or how to be I didn't know any of it. And so I started researching programs, and I guess because I had been researching it, your information came up on my Facebook, the big data.
I was following you around.
Yeah, you were stalking me, and it just really resonated with me, and I thought, this is the program that I need, that's going to where I need to be or where I want to be for my business, and that's kind of how I sort of stumbled into coaching, and I'm so glad I did.
Amazing. So let me ask you a few questions about all these things that you just mentioned in terms of leading up to coaching. So first of all, we should also mention that you are a mom of how many kids?
5. I have 5 children.
5. Yes, 5 kids. Okay, so I just want everyone to hear that. I don't have kids yet, and so I don't know how. I imagine that it's a lot to even have one child and start your own business, let alone 5 and starting another business on top of what you already have. That's just amazing. So first, we really need to honor you for that.
Thank you.
I know there's other moms on. Lynn says hi, and she's also a mom, so she gets it. So 5 kids. So let me ask you a question. With the real estate work, were you always someone who was really entrepreneurial? Because you said you were a teacher, and then you moved into real estate. So tell us a little bit about how that happened.
It really was sort of just as a result of that entrepreneurial spirit that I did have. I mean, I think I was born to be a teacher. I just didn't realize in what capacity at the time. Okay. So I went into teaching in a classroom, and I tell people all the time, I loved being a teacher, but I didn't like the fact that I had to grade and have parent-teacher conferences. I just wanted to teach. I just wanted to train. And so I think that as we went into this business, sort of that entrepreneurial spirit in me combined with that deep desire to help educate and train and guide people, I think that's kind of what led me into it almost naturally. I think it's what I was meant to do, and it's so much joy in my life now. I feel like I'm really doing what I was meant to do.
I love that. That's been one of the themes of today for sure. So you had this other business. You realized there was a need for people to be better trained in terms of them having their own business. So when you found the iHeart Coaching information and the ad, were you like all in right away? Was there any hesitation? What came up for you?
I mean, at the time, and unfortunately, this is the case. At the time, I still hadn't gone through all the amazing mindset work and the money mindset and everything that's a part of the program. So I'll be honest, what came up for me initially was, price tag, and I was like, oh, that's quite, and at the time I didn't say it's quite an investment because I didn't see it as an investment at the time. Yeah. I saw it as, wow, that's a cost, and so I wasn't all in right away just because of that. I mean, the story resonated, but I just kept coming back to it. And I promise I read your website at least 10 times because something within me was drawing me to it. And I just thought, I'm worth this investment, or at the time I'm worth spending this on myself. And so I did it. And then now I see that was an incredible investment, and the mindset work really opened up my eyes to that, and and the importance in investing in yourself and your business if you're going to do this. And so that's kind of how I got there.
Yeah. And one of the things that you're referencing here for anyone who's watching is in the program, we talk about money mindset work. And we also talk about the language that we use every single day, whether it pertains to money or anything, and how that's really, it's important to focus on because your thoughts and your words create your reality. And for me personally, this is what I share with all of my clients, the word debt and the word, that's the main one. That one, expensive. There's a few others. Those used to really trigger me and make me feel negative. So I changed debt to investment. So that's what Amy's talking about. And that's truly what this program is. But sometimes it can feel so scary. And I know I had the same situation when I signed up for a group program and I didn't have the money. I didn't know what I was going to do. It felt like so much money at the time. And so I totally get that. And I love your honesty because I know a lot of people feel the same. And I always tell James, I'm like, oh, well, they can find the money. They can make it happen. And he's like, well, they haven't done the mindset work yet. Right. It's not, they don't have that thought habit, just like you didn't just a few years ago.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And I mean, I was already running a business and I still, for whatever reason, I still hesitated around this idea of investing in myself. I was used to investing in a business. I mean, we invested in a physical location and in a brand and in all of these things. But for some reason that didn't translate to me and into all that work that I still needed to do. I hadn't done that yet. And so I think initially in the beginning, whenever I first started, I really latched on to that. And I did, of course, at the time, I did sign up at the early. So I was watching that deadline for that early bird special. And I also, I did realize that I needed to finance it and do that at the time. But it was completely worth the investment. I'm so glad that I did that.
Yeah, it's funny that we're talking about this because I just filled out a form for Marie Forleo because I did B school years ago and it was $2,000 and I didn't have that money. And so I had to do the payment plan as well. And even that was like a huge expense for me. So it's just amazing. And I think that one of the keys here I want to point out is that you said you weren't used to investing in yourself. So what was it about this, because essentially it's a program to help you build your coaching business. So the first 6 modules are mindset, but then the rest of the 18 modules are all business building skills. So where was that disconnect for you? I can't pinpoint exactly why I had this disconnect, but I will say if anybody goes and reads any of my story on my website or anything, I lived several years before, I lived in a state of constant panic. I had a panic disorder. I was, in the hospital over and over again. I couldn't sleep. And at one point I just decided, enough is enough and I'm going to start taking care of myself. I'm going to really live because, on the day that I decided that, I had been 7 days straight without sleep because I was so afraid and in so much panic. And so I started really this journey of self-discovery years ago, but I still hadn't made that connection for myself that I was enough and that I was good enough and that I could do this. And so I really had to come to a place when I was reading the materials and going over it, I really had to come to a place of, I want this for my life and people are waiting for me. I had to look around and see the good I had already done with the agents in our business and say, I could do this with people around the globe. I mean, I could do this with agents around the country and I could provide something to that. And they're waiting for me to show up and I don't know how to do it. So I really need that coaching program. The mindset work was totally a bonus at the time. I'll be really honest. When I read through the modules, I thought, yeah. Okay, we'll get through that. And then we'll get to the good stuff. And I'm telling you, that was
the most important turning point in my life was going through those first modules and really changing the mindset about myself and who I am and what I can do in the world and coming into my own power.
Wow. That's so incredible. Thank you for sharing that. So tell us, what are the specific ways that things have shifted for you personally and in your business through this program?
I mean, I think personally, I am a person who lives free of anxiety today. And personally, I am full of joy and I'm full of excitement over my life every day because I get to do what I love. We still run the real estate brokerage, so I still get to interact with a lot of our agents one-on-one and in person. And then, of course, I have my online business. I think my life has just changed because of just the joy that I feel in it every single day to get to do what I love. When you do what you love and when you do it with passion, the money it follows. It's secondary in terms of importance because it just happens. It's just a result of that. So of course, money-wise, that's been great. I've worked with so many clients. I started out with one-on-one, just like you say in the program. I did it exactly like you said. And then slowly and it's important. I think that's one of the most important things. You've got to build those skills. You have to know what you're doing and build those skills, and then you build your materials. And so since then, I've added some group programs. I just finished a couple days ago. I just finished a small group, kind of a VIP group. It was only 7 people. It was the best experience of my life. It's just incredible. And I have just some classes. I just have some self-paced courses, and then I have my one-on-one coaching still and my group coaching. And I've worked with almost 80 people, 79 I think was my count. So through all of those different delivery systems, but it's just been incredible to impact lives, and it's impacted my own life, I think, more than anybody else's.
Wow. And what was the month that you finished the program? Remember?
Let me think. It was October. It was I finished it yeah.
And you said in your form that you filled out that you created 6 figures in the coaching business since then.
Yes, I have. Well, before I even finished the program, I had 14 clients. So we'll start there. And then, and then it just grew from that. So, at this point, it's a 6-figure business. And I really, like you said, in the materials, I've really turned a skill that I had in my own life into the ability to help and coach others who have that same skill and just need some honing, and lay the foundation for them to have 6-figure businesses in their real estate, in the real estate world. I love to work with brand new realtors. Unfortunately, only about 13% of all realtors that get in the business will be in business in 5 years. And that's a really sad statistic for me. I think a lot of people, you get into it with this idea in any business, coaching or otherwise, you get into it with the idea to succeed. And if it doesn't and it fails, I think that's really sad because everybody can do it.
Yeah.
And so it's really given me the opportunity to help people in that way and to see a lot of success for their businesses, which is my goal.
And do you work with real estate agents online as well as in person?
Yes. So the only ones I work with in person are the ones that are actually a part of our brokerage. Yep. And then everybody else I work with online, which is amazing.
Yeah. And so how would you say that this work and the business that you've built has affected those in your life?
I mean, of everything from my own family, it's just opened up opportunities and doors for my own family, but also, all of the things that I said were important to me and the mindset and everything that I mentioned were important to me are now being funneled down into our kids. And it's funny, the words that come out of their little mouths about, the money mindset and all of that kind of funnels down into them. And so I think that the most important piece of it is that I've given a future to my kids that looks really, really different than it would have been. And so if anything, I mean, sure, we can talk about money, we can talk about vacations, we can talk about, the opportunities that we've created, which have been amazing and wonderful. But I think the legacy that we're leaving to them and the ability for them to go on and create whatever they want to, and to hear them talk with that true entrepreneurial mindset, and to hear them make those kinds of connections and understand the idea of investing in yourself and of celebrating small successes and all of that, I think it's really, really translated to them. So if anything, that's the best part of it for me is with my kids.
Yeah, amazing. I love that. All of the women that I attract, they have these big purposes that are really the thing that is fueling them. And for a lot of people, it is family and the legacy and breaking any patterns that aren't serving them anymore and, impacting those in their lives as well as obviously their own life. So incredible. And for you, I know that you also work with your husband. So how has he been transformed?
Well, I mean, his mindset was even worse than mine. I mean, he was a very, very, negative person when it came to everything from money and all of that kind of stuff. We were just, if you don't know, you don't know. And we came from very different money stories. We came from very different backgrounds. And so he has, embraced all of that. He's read every single book that I've read. I've made him read, I started him out on the baby.
You guys you have a great relationship. I know you said that you asked him, he's your sounding board. You asked him when you were signing up for this program, what he thought.
Absolutely.
So I was just curious.
Yep. Yeah, we were actually sitting at our anniversary dinner. We were sitting at a steakhouse at our anniversary dinner, and it was in April, and it was like right the week before I needed to make this decision. And I'm like, okay, I just want to tell you all of this. And I'm telling you, and he's going, yeah, that's great. That's great. And I'm like, and the cost is, and he's like, whoa. And so we talked it through, and he was like, you know what, if you feel like this is right for you, then go for it. So he really has been supportive all along, but he also had to do all that mindset work along with me. So, I would read the books that you would recommend, and then I'd be like, read this, you have to read this. And we've transformed together. I mean, we really have. And he's gone on to get, certifications, NLP certifications and all of that too.
Wow.
And so we've actually started doing some coaching together and providing some awesome opportunities within my coaching business. So it's just been incredible. My whole world is different,
Wow. Amazing. Yeah, it's so incredible. I could speak to you all day. I'd love to meet James, and I would love to meet you and your husband in person one day. That'd be incredible.
I would love it. I know, unfortunately, I didn't get to go to the graduation. My daughter fell and broke her knee the week before. Oh. And so we couldn't leave with all that going on. And it was so unfortunate because we had planned to be there. So someday I would like to go and meet you there. That would be great.
And so what would you say for that person who's at that place where you were, wondering about the cost and the time and the investment in herself? What would you say to her, that person who's on the fence?
I mean, really, it's kind of like, I want to say just go for it, but I think that that's almost too simplistic because you just have to understand, and you almost have to trust your instinct and trust what other people are telling you, that your life you will not recognize it in 6 months. And so, make the investment in yourself. It's completely worth it because it's going to impact your entire life, your entire business. And someone out there is really waiting for you to show up. I promise you, the people that you are going to impact are waiting for you. And so take the opportunity to do what you need to do to get yourself to that place. If I hadn't gone through this program, my life wouldn't be what it is today. And so I just can't stress it enough that this is so important. And to really when you do sign up, take it to heart and follow it to the letter. Don't try going all over the place. I mean, my own patterns of anxiety, once my world started opening up within those mindsets and things, and I started going, wow, I am enough. Wow, I can do this. Oh, I can't. Then all of a sudden I'm like, well, I could help the whole world. And, maybe I should do this or maybe I should do that. And so I think that's another part that's so valuable is that on one of the calls, I said that to you and you said, it's kind of like a tree. It has a trunk and then it can grow leaves and branches. So stick with like one thing and grow it from there, and it will. And that's exactly what has happened. And so I think, you can sign up for a program and try to work your way through it. You could sign up for any program out there, but this one has some unique things. It has the Facebook group to meet with other women, which I'm still connected with so many of them. And then the calls where whenever you are sort of finding yourself going, what in the world am I doing? It's like grounding and it brings you back, to where you're supposed to be. And I'm so glad I did because I can't get to 1,000 clients until I've had one, so why am I so worried about this niche or whatever it is, I need to sort of fit where I fit and then watch it grow, and it has. So invest in yourself because it's totally worth it.
And I love what you said about how that client is waiting for you, because so many people think, oh, there's so many coaches out there, there's no room for me. And that stops a lot of people from moving forward. But the truth is there are your unique people out there. And for you, you have this amazing niche and this background and these people who weren't really being served until you came around and showed them what was possible and gave them the skills that they needed. So
Absolutely.
I just think about that ripple effect and where they would be had you not gone for your dreams.
Absolutely. And I completely agree with that and believe that. And I think if you can't do it for yourself in this moment because your mind isn't where it needs to be, or you're still using those words like cost or debt or all of that, that's fine. Do it for the people who you're going to serve because they're waiting for you.
Beautiful. Final question. So what's coming up for you? What's next? What are you excited about in your life and in your business?
Well, I just finished up a group program, so I'm taking just a couple weeks to take a breather, and I'm revamping some of that based on all the amazing feedback that I got. So I have that group program starting up again and in the next few weeks. And then I'm also going to, for those who don't feel like they can make that investment, I'm going to be launching a self-paced version of that same program without the live support and all of that. So I'm really excited about that. It kind of will allow me to reach some people. Becoming a realtor is a huge investment as it is. So this will allow me to reach some of those brand new agents who really aren't in a place to make that investment. So I'm excited about that. And that's coming up in the next few weeks. So end of August, beginning of September timeframe. And then I plan on sometime this year taking a break. just a little vacation, a little break, sometime maybe close to November, December, just to take a breather, because it's just kind of been a whirlwind of things happening and I wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, that's kind of what's coming up.
You need a bit of time. Incredible. So your tree is growing, you're branching out, you're serving more and more people. I'm so excited for you. It couldn't have happened to a more amazing woman. You truly are such an inspiration. And I can just feel your love for your life. I know it sounds cheesy, but your energy is incredible. And it's just obvious. You know, I wouldn't ever see any bit of anxiety in you, now speaking to you at this point. And so it's just really amazing to see how far you've come, Amy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. So if anyone is interested in signing up today for iHeart Coaching, all you have to do is go to iHeartCoaching.com and you'll get the early bird pricing that Amy talked about. It's only available until Sunday night and only for people watching this video and our waiting list. So do not hesitate. Go to iHeartCoaching.com. All right, Amy, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.